In brightest day, in blackest night, no evil shall escape my sight. Greetings, everybody, and welcome back to Collector of Stuff. Monty here. Been ring collecting, as you can see. My Green Lantern rings. Now, if I can get them off my fat fingers. How's everybody been doing out there? Sorry, it's been a while again since I've posted another video. It's actually about 3 o'clock in the morning right now where I am, and having trouble sleeping, and I've been working on the man cave here and trying to straighten things. If you could see the mess that surrounds me at this moment, I've got all of my comics boxes opened up and stuff piled everywhere, trying to organize. Get those back there. There we go. I decided, what the heck, I'm going to make videos. I'm probably going to make at least a couple, maybe 3. Hey, have you noticed? Look at my shirt here. It's kind of baggy. I've lost 27 pounds since I had my bypass surgery at the end of March of this year. So, don't really know how. I'm not really good at dieting, but I will say that I've probably paid more attention to portion control and that kind of thing, and more than I count calories and all that. I've tried to do that so many times. And I don't want to get on here and whine again about all my illnesses and things, but let's just say there are at least 4 different health issues that I'm dealing with all at the same time, including this god-awful psoriasis. I don't know if any of you guys out there have psoriasis, but mine just flared up about 12 years ago when I was about 38, 37, 38, somewhere in there. I'm 50 now. And it just, since the surgery, has gotten worse and worse and worse, and continues to spread all over my body. And you can probably see it's getting all over my face now. I have an appointment at the 27th of October with a new rheumatologist. The old one that I was seeing, our insurance changed, and they weren't on, in network anymore, so I couldn't go see him. And now there's a lady I'm going to go see, a new doctor that I keep hearing great things about, and we're going to try her out and see if she can help me with medications. My problem is I've gone through every medication that you see advertised on TV. I've gone through light treatments and stuff. People ask, have you done tanning beds? Have you, done this and that? I did like 6 months worth of treatments of direct light at a skin and cancer center place here in town. And that didn't work, didn't help me. The problem with those medications is they work for about 6 months, maybe a year, and then all of a sudden they just stop working. It's like my body becomes immune to them. So sucks, but it is what it is. So anyway, I didn't mean to ramble off on that. In the meantime, while I haven't put out videos, still collecting, and picked up a ton of stuff. As a matter of fact, got a ton of comic books, and there is no freaking way that I can show them all to you in one video unless you want to sit and watch a 45, 50 something minute video, which I know many of you guys don't, so I probably will do it in parts, because my local used bookstore, McKay's bookstore, man, I've gone twice and recently and thumbed through like their 20-cent book bins and got tons of stuff. My back issue haul is just huge. I've had some eBay buys of stuff, some great runs, and not to even bring up all the new stuff. My pull list keeps getting bigger and bigger as well. It's insane. So yeah, the amount of books. There's no way I can show you all the stuff, new and old, that I can do in one sitting. But anyway, why don't we start off with? Um, I'm just gonna show you comment on just a handful of new books that have been meaningful to me, or things that I've enjoyed reading. Make some comments about. Let's see. All right. First off, sorry about that. Maybe light that I've got on here bump. This is and my glasses broke. I haven't liked my prescription that I've been wearing the last few years, and my glasses kept breaking, and finally they just broke, and I said, the heck with it. And so I had Monday I went and had a new eye exam and ordered new glasses and all that. So another week or so I should have new glasses. So the collectors shall look a little bit different, hopefully, and better, and we'll be able to see all this small print. I haven't been able to keep up with my comic book reading because so much of the small little print things on there, I'm just like holding, I'm farsighted, so I'm having to hold the doggone thing way out here. But anyway, this is issue number 1 of the X-Files Season 11. Now, you may be, and this is from IDW, you may be aware that they just completed a run called Season 10. The actual TV show, if you were not a fan of the X-Files, ran for 9 seasons. And then IDW started a new series called Season 10, which basically picked up where the TV show left off. Is really, really good. And now they've kind of finished that run after 2 years. And in the 3rd year of this book, they've now changed to Season 11. And this is a good place to kind of jump in if you want to. The artwork is great. If you are a fan of the X-Files but you haven't been reading this, the characters, the likenesses, as well as you can see here of Mulder and Scully, are very accurate. And right now the plot is centering around Gibson Praise, who was the little boy when the TV show went off, but everything was kind of focused on who was an alien human hybrid, and a alien human hybrid. And now Gibson is all grown up, and instead of being an ally, at the moment at least, he appears to be an enemy to the world and its future. So that's all I'm going to say about that. But this is really, really good. Joe Harris continues to write it as he did the Season 10 books. And if you like sci-fi, you're into alien conspiracies and all of that stuff, you need to check that one out. Speaking of aliens, here is Aliens and Vampirella from Dark Horse #1. This just came out last week. I'm a fan of both of those series, Vampirella and Aliens. I picked up a lot of the Dark Horse Aliens books back in the 90s, in that era. And so, I'm not crazy about the artwork. I'm not crazy about the way they've drawn Vampirella. She looks more like Lucy, oh crap, what's her name that played Xena? Lucy Law. Looks a lot like Lucy Law in here, which is not really the way I picture Vampirella. But the aliens, so far we haven't really seen a full-fledged or full-grown adult alien in issue #1. We're looking mainly at the discovery of eggs. So what's going to be going on? And so I think this is a 5-issue, maybe a 6-issue series, something like that, mini-series. But I'm enjoying that greatly. Aliens and Vampirella. Thumbs up for that one. Another thumbs up that I'm giving from Dynamite and Dark Horse, Red Sonja and Conan #1. I have only read, prior to this, one Red Sonja comic book. Um, and I have one trade of Conan the Barbarian, which I'd like to get more of. But I decided I would give this one a look-see, as it was a number one, and wanted to check out and see more about Red Sonja and that kind of stuff. And I really loved this first issue. Very, it is what you would expect. Team up of these two warriors working together, and the artwork is beautiful. The artwork is fits the mood of the story really well, and Conan looks a lot like Tarzan to me, like you would normally see Tarzan drawn there on the cover. But yeah, check this one out too. Red Sonja and Conan. I really like that one. Another one that's about to end, but I've really been enjoying from Marvel as a tie-in with their Secret Wars, which I'm not really into, but I like this book, Where Monsters Dwell. This is issue number 4, and I think there's going to be 5 or 6. And while it looks a little cartoonish on the cover, it really isn't. As a matter of fact, there is a parental advisory warning. There is some adult content that goes on in this, so don't let your little ones get a hold of it without your supervision, mom and dad. But it's a fun throwback, kind of set in the 1920s era, single engine airplane pilot is hired to take a woman to a destination. Their plane crashes in a swampy area where there are dinosaurs and pygmies and Amazon women and giant monsters and creatures on land and in the water, and yeah, just trouble everywhere this poor pilot goes to. And yeah, the Amazon women are very feminist, ideology, and they hate men, and I mean they're radical feminists, and really, as you can see, that's why he's in the pot of stew there on the cover, is from the Amazons. And so anyway, check out Where Monsters Dwell. This is issue number 4. Again, I think it's a 5 or 6 issue series from Marvel. A couple of Dark Horse horror comics that I'm really enjoying again. Harrow County, this is number 4, issue number 4. Great, darkly drawn, darkly illustrated, kind of like Witches, reminds me a lot of Witches, but not as surreal and crazy as some of the artwork in Witches got. But it's a nice horror story of a young girl who is being accused of being a witch, and she doesn't think she is, and yet as she is escaping through the woods, she suddenly realizes that she has supernatural abilities and things. So anxious to see how that one goes and wraps up. Also from Dark Horse in the horror comics, Death Head. This is number 2, and yeah, enjoying this one greatly as well. Death Head is basically a young couple finds a Death Head mask and take it home, and all sorts of horror, and a creature of some sort is trailing them, following them. So all kinds of trouble ensues. Another one that I really like, this is issue number 1, not a horror story, from Image. Beauty. If you didn't pick this one up, you really need to. I really enjoyed it. It's all about our society's opinions and views on beauty and the price that we'll pay to be beautiful, even at the cost of our health and our lives and death. And basically, in this society, everyone through a disease has become beautiful. And those that have not caught the disease are few and far between, but they are frowned upon, looked down upon, but yet they're the ones who aren't dying off. And so, yeah, you need to check out Beauty. You're not too far behind. And then another one that I did like is the crossover Star Trek Green Lantern. This is issue number 2. Enjoying that one. Don't have a whole lot to say. The cover is pretty crappy. But Carnage Man 99 did a great rant on the cover of this issue. But, of course, I love Green Lantern and Star Trek, so I got to pick up the miniseries. Again, I'm not quite sure. It doesn't say how many. 6. This is number 2 of 6. All right, so there'll be 6 issues of this from, of course, from DC Comics, and Star Trek is from IDW currently. And this is the new updated Star Trek crew, so it's from the most recent movies that you will see in that book. And then one book that I did not really care for and was greatly disappointed that I didn't like it, because I was looking forward to it, from Image Comics. This is issue number 1 of Phonogram, the Immaterial Girl. The premise, when I read it in preview, sounded really good, and it just did not live up to its expectations for me. This was one of 6 issues for this series. I don't believe that I'm going to buy any more after number 1. It absolutely made no sense. I've read it twice and I still don't understand it. And I know that it's supposed to be something about the power of videos and music, and the last few pages of issue 1 do a great job of redrawing the Aha video of Take On Me from the 80s, which is done really well on here. But that was the highlight. Like, it's kind of sad when a book's last 3 pages are the highlight. You know you're not doing well. To me, I spent the rest of the book just trying to figure out what the heck is going on. It's a very again, I hate to overuse the word, but it's a very, I don't know, surreal or I'm not even going to try to explain it. I gave it a thumbs down. I did not like that book. That's not all that I'm reading. That's just all I'm going to take the time for in this video to show you. New stuff, commenting on new stuff. Before I show you some of the older books, I want to show you this. I did pick this up. One of the things I used to really love when I was a kid in reading comics, of course, were the ads. Everybody that grew up in the 60s and 70s loved the ads, that you'd see in comic books and on the back covers and all of that stuff. But in particular, one of the ads, or some of the ads that I enjoyed, were the advertisements for the new Saturday morning cartoon lineups that all the networks would do. And of course, back in the day in the 70s, there would usually be a Friday night right before the new season started, where they would actually do like a half-hour preview show showing off all the new cartoons that were going to be coming on Saturday mornings. Now, of course, we haven't had Saturday morning cartoons in 15, 20 years, I guess. But that was a big part of my childhood. And usually around that same time, you would get previews in the middle of comic books. You've probably seen them if you're a collector of back issues. And unfortunately, I haven't been able to find a lot of books to add to my collection that have those. I've seen them. I know what they are. So from a seller on eBay, I was able to buy just this insert, middle pages from a comic book. I don't even know what book it's from. I think Sergeant Rock, maybe. But this is the fall cartoon lineup from CBS. And this is from I'm trying to remember, 1970. No, excuse me. This was like 1969, I think, something like that. But I can't hold it. As you can see, Archie and Sabrina and Dick Dastardly, the Monkees, Scooby-Doo, the Perils of Pauline. I just loved getting comic books that had these comic illustrations of the new cartoons coming out. So I'm gonna probably frame this, is my intent when I picked it up somewhere, and hang it here in the man cave as well, just because I love these pages, and I'm looking for more. I'm trying to find more of those from different online sellers and stuff. But I did get that, and they were nice enough to even when they took that and mailed it, they sent it in a comic bag and board, and then it was actually very well shipped, so it wouldn't bend. So that was pretty cool. Okay, now let's get to back issues. I've ordered several runs from different sellers on eBay. Again, I'm probably not going to be able to get to all these. There's just stacks of stuff here in the floor. And I may try and do this by publisher, maybe do the DCs first and the Marvels second and whatever else. But anyway, most of these lots I picked up for 15 to 20 bucks, I would guess. And then the ones that I bought from my used bookstore, from McKay's bookstore, a lot of them came in the 20-cent pile. And unfortunately, I don't know that I can remember which ones I got for 20 cents, but they ranged in price from 20 cents to 75 cents a piece. The most that I paid for any of these was $1.25. And I might be able to tell as I go through the stacks which ones, were the more expensive ones. But a huge chunk of those were 20-cent buys. You just would not believe all the cool stuff that I was able to get. But first thing I want to show you is this. This is actually two separate lots that I picked up from eBay sellers of Detective Comics, but it's all one run. So let's get started. We're starting off here, Detective Comics number 598. I'm going to do these as quick as possible. You can pause the video if you want to look at a cover more closely. 598, 599, 600, 601, 602, 603, 604, 605, 606, 607, 608, 609, 610, 611, 612, 613, 614, 615, 616, 617, and I like that cover a lot. 618, forgot where I was. 619, 620, and 621. So issues 598 to 621 of Detective Comics. I am so looking forward to going through and reading these. Most of these were from 1990. Yeah, 90, and then crossing into 91. So it's right before I actually started collecting Detective Comics in the 90s. So I'm excited to get those to add to the collection and just to have to read. By the way, that brings me to something I was going to say in my introduction and forgot to. And I'd like for you to leave comments down below, because I'm curious. I watch a lot of comic book collectors videos and subscribe to a lot of you guys out there. And I'm curious because I'm seeing a pattern that I'm not going to make a judgment on one way. It's not my business, and it's not necessarily right or wrong. I'm just curious. How many of you guys actually read the comics that you buy? And I say that because I see so many people buying, putting out a video at least every other day and nearly every day, where they're buying huge hauls and huge lots. And I'm thinking, there's no way that you're reading all those books. And I am bad sometimes about buying a book, especially when I get a good deal on it and then put it away, and it might be a year or two before I get to it. I understand that. My goal is always to read every book that I buy, but I'm not going to lie and tell you that I do that the moment that I buy it. I'm just curious how many of you guys out there consider yourselves to be collectors. How many of you consider yourselves to be readers? Or how many of you, like me, consider yourselves to be collectors and readers? And I say that because and again, I'm not trying to make a comment one way or the other. It's just curiosity to me. One person not too long ago, I made a comment about the redoing of their room, their man cave, their comic book room or whatever. I made the comment about how, it's going to be a great place for reading books, and their reply was, yeah, I can't wait to get started bagging and boarding. And I thought, well, apparently you don't have any intention of ever reading your books. As far as you go is just bagging and boarding, and that's not just one person that I've kind of seen and heard that from. So just curious. Leave me a comment below if you're a collector or a reader. It doesn't matter to me. I don't care. You do with your books what you want to do with them. I'm just curious how many people actually read the books that they buy, especially if you're one that buys 7 or 8 hauls a month of just dozens and dozens and dozens of books. And I start thinking, I'm having a hard time reading the new books that I'm buying in the pull list. And then when I start adding all these others, I'm having a hard time. But enough about that. All right, some more books real quick. I think I paid 75 cents for this one. I don't know. I don't own any, nor have I read any Kamandi books. And at the used bookstore, here was issue number 8 of Kamandi, so I grabbed it just because I'm curious. I'd never read it, and I really liked it. I read through it real quick when I got home with it, and yeah, I really enjoyed that. That was a lot of fun to read, and I would love to start collecting some more Kamandi. I can see what all the interest and the hype and the comparisons to Planet of the Apes and other sci-fi kind of things are like. And let's see, nice lot of Green Lantern. Yeah. Hang on a second. How'd that one get out of place? I want to have these in the right order here. Okay. Alright, alright, alright. Again, paying different prices for some of these. Here is, and this is mostly the Gerard Jones run, where we begin to see Kyle Rayner becoming a Green Lantern. In fact, I was happy to find one particular issue I'm about to show you. Here is issue number 46, number 48, 49, which was inspired me to do the rings at the beginning, and picked up issue number 50, which of course is the it's the premiere or the first appearance of Kyle Rayner as Green Lantern, and also considered to be the first appearance of Parallax as well. So was very happy to get issue number 50. Now here is issue 51. Kyle Rayner appears in issue 50 on the last page in full Green Lantern uniform. 51 is actually the first issue, I guess, where he, you see him in all of his green goodness and splendor. Issue number 56, 58, 59, like the Christmas cover on there. Number 60, 61, 67, 70, 74, 75, and this cover is pretty cool. This is issue number 81. I like that a lot, and it has a nice feel to it. 94 and 120. Some of these, like 94 and 120, all those, these were part of those 20-cent books that I was able to piece together a run. This is from the Jeff Johns run, issue number 2. So I'm eager to, I have like a handful of the Jeff Johns run, which I really like those. I just haven't been able to put those together yet. So I grab, when I see an issue, I grab one everywhere I can. So that's a lot of Green Lantern books that I was able to piece together. Crap. My God. Alright. We're gonna see. We're already at half an hour. Okay. Just going to show you a handful of other books that I picked up as well. This is Batman number 'It doesn't even have the number on the front. It's a Batman Spectacular. I would have to take it out of the bag to see the number. I can't see a number on there. It's not even on the spine. These books were all $1.25, and they're all in good shape. None of these are in great shape. This is World's Finest, Batman and Superman number 188. But again, hey, great books to find for $1.25. These are books that I'd never seen or heard before, didn't know anything about them. This is called Superman Family number 199, with about 5, I think there's 5 stories in each issue featuring different members of the Superman family, including Lois Lane, Jimmy Olsen, Supergirl, etc., etc. This is 203 of Superman Family, featuring Supergirl. And number 216 of Superman Family, starring Supergirl on there. So yeah, I wasn't familiar with that group, but yeah, I was happy to find those. Detective Comics number 543. Again, none of these are in fantastic shape, but hey. And then the Batman Family number 482, featuring Batgirl, Robin, Bat-Knight, etc., etc. So they did a Superman Family and Batman Family, 5 all-new stories, as you can see on there. So yeah, I was excited to find those very much. Okay, we are at 35 minutes, so I'm not going to keep you any longer, and we're going to do a part 2 to this, and hopefully you will stay tuned. Oh, I did want to show you these. I was at Walmart the other day grocery shopping, and on one end aisle they had a whole bunch of Pez dispensers, and I have a good lot of Pez dispensers in the cabinet there. I liked, especially pop culture ones and comic book related ones. They were, how much did I pay? $1.50? Yeah, I think it was $1.50 a piece. Plus you got the candy and all that stuff. So Superman I was able to pull. I did not have a Superman dispenser. And then there was a bunch of Star Wars, so I had to have those. Darth Vader I was able to pick up, and R2 I was able to pick up, and C-3PO as well. Yeah, it's a little blinding on there, isn't it? There you go. So you can see those. So yes, was happy to pick up a handful of new Pez dispensers, and I may go back to Walmart and grocery shop again this week and pick up a few more that I didn't grab last time. So anyway, I'm going to stop it here, and my gosh, we're nearly at 40 minutes, and I'm at best halfway through. So thanks for watching. Leave your comments below. Love to hear from you. Subscribe, give a thumbs up if you like the video, like what you're watching. Shout out to comic book collector that has done videos in the past. She hasn't been on YouTube in a couple of years, and just yesterday she made, or today I guess it was, maybe it was today. Of course I'm up all night, so today is now tomorrow. Anyway, Sam Kip is her YouTube name, SAMKIP, Sam Kip 47, I believe it is, Sam Kip 47 or Sam Kip 97, I think it may be 97, Sam Kip, because she's a young girl. So give her some love, go visit her channel, and she's done overviews of all of her graphic novel and comic collections, and I invited her to watch and get involved with the community and several of you guys that regularly watch here. So yeah, thanks for watching, and until next time,